Okay, even, here we go. So to even illustrate the point further about this door leads you to that stairwell where the door was open. I mean, if someone was in the facility when I wasn't, with the alarms on, they'd obviously be going off, and no one was. But if you look, you know, there are means to keep this door closed and locked. And I mean, it was locked and latched, you know? No way to explain it.
What's that stain up there on the wall? Is that...
Water. It's a water stain as far as I believe. I mean,
It's got kind of a shape to it.
yeah. Yeah, I've never really, never really analyzed it.
Hi, I'm Dan Tremblay of Ghost Stories of New England. We got some information from people who worked around here that this building has got some things going on, and we're going to look into these things today. Three foremost stories have to do with hearing the sound of footsteps on the third floor, a toilet door that opens. We also came in here this morning, and I don't think I was in the building 5 minutes when we had a computer go off with some kind of a defect sound of some kind that had never gone off before, according to the cable people here. And that was deactivated just a few minutes ago. We don't know what that's all about, but these are things that have happened here, and we're going to look at some of these things today.
We're at the EBENEZER Damon Tavern in North Reading. I'm Rob, and I'm the executive director for the cable access channel here. And we've probably moved into this facility probably about a year, a little bit less than a year actually. As a lot of old buildings, you tend to have thoughts of maybe there spirits or some sort of activity going on, and to be honest with you, there's a little bit of activity going on here that kind of has me scratching my head. I don't think it's a malevolent entity. I think it's more curious and observational, kind of vigilant maybe. It's trying to protect its home if it is what it is. But I guess prior to us moving here, we had a lot of electrical work. We put the TV studio in here, in this section of the first floor. And I had been meeting with electrical contractors all day, giving them a tour of where we wanted to run, you know, outlets, where we wanted to run power, where we want to put our fuse box, and, you know, not fuse box, but our breaker box and everything like that. And so we were going throughout the building and pointing out spots. Where it gets interesting was after the last gentleman left for the day, it was probably around maybe like 2:30, maybe 3 o'clock, so it's towards the end of my day as well. I walked him out to the door. Oh, see you later. You know, I'll talk to you soon. We'll be in touch. Send me your quote and whatnot. And so I went back in here, and I was putting around trying to figure out more things for like with the carpenters and whatnot when they would come back. And all of a sudden I heard what sounded like walking over, on the second floor over my head. And I was like, huh, that's odd. And I called out. I was like, hello, hello, and I didn't hear an answer back. And I was curious, so I went upstairs into the upstairs hallway. And as I was going down the hallway past the old ballroom, there's, right now it's an office. It's an office, it's just a room. It's a new door jam, new handle, but it was wide open, completely wide open. Nothing was out of place, it looked. I mean, I don't really know. I don't really meddle with such things, but I mean, it didn't look like anything was trashed or someone vandalized or anything, just the door was wide open. The door is normally locked, and when I actually pulled the door closed, I checked the handle, and it was indeed locked. So I found that kind of interesting.
Okay, we're going upstairs to what is this now, upstairs?
This is where they're basically trying to restore this to kind of back to its heyday. Mm-hmm. There's a nice ballroom. We actually can't go into. It's locked. But it has nice Rufus Porter murals. Rufus Porter was a mural art. Well, he's a landscape artist from the early to mid 1800s, and he painted these beautiful murals on the wall. They're trying to restore that. They have the Historical Society and the District Commission. They all meet here. This is where they kind of have their base of operations, and where they try to do different historical events. They do live reenactments and whatnot at some of the historical properties around town. Let me turn on the light. Oh, that light's dead. All right. So, as I explained in the story earlier, I was downstairs after I'd shown all the electrical contractors, where we wanted to do work. And after the last gentleman left, I was downstairs and I heard some walking noises, and it basically sounded like just about that much. You can, even with the sound of the floor creaking and everything. Being the only one in the building, I was a little concerned. So I was like, okay, I thought the last guy left, I'll go see, and I called out. So I figured, okay, something came from upstairs, I'll check it out. What's the worst that could happen? So this door, if you look at it, is new construction. It's definitely not 100 years old. It's plumb, and it's locked. As I can demonstrate right here, I mean, it's locked. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You can push on it, it won't open up. However, when I came up after hearing the footsteps, the door was wide open. No explanation, and it was still locked. So, interesting. See, now, this is exactly what I mean about the elevator. If we look at now, I don't know if you can quite get it, but you'll see that the lift is on this floor. This is like a sort of half floor in between, so people can access this way, and then there's another door on the other side.
Got a light on in there. See it?
Oh, that's the other side. That actually sits up higher. This is sunk down, probably, it's sunk down to the lower floor. I can show you the other side of this elevator, but it was up flush with this floor, as opposed to this floor. The last time I came up here to check, because of the rain. Because we've been getting such heavy rains, I wanted to make sure you weren't leaking, so. But yeah, I mean, this is what it is. You can kind of see. They've been working on, getting artifacts together and kind of restoring, aspects of the building. And I mean, yeah, like an old building, you can hear like the creaks.
But if there was nobody up here, what would cause the creaks other than settling?
Yeah, I don't know. Especially if, when you walk, you have when you walk, you have a certain rhythm to your pace, and that's what it was. It wasn't just a random creak and a random creak. It was like with steps. So
this looks like maybe an old bedroom of some kind. There's an old bed here.
Right, they've been trying to sort of recreate the historical experience of being back in a tavern in the 1800s. Where you'd probably either live above your tavern, or, you know, if it was a long horseback ride to Charleston or something, you could spend the night. You know, that's kind of how it would work. You'd drive from Haverhill and take Haverhill Street, Haverhill Street, from Haverhill to here, and stop off the tavern and tether up the old horse and come in, have a meal, and spend the night, and then keep riding to Boston. So that's probably how it worked.